Welcome to the crazy world of Enslaved by No Media. Sorry, no brain. And this is the second part of his craziness and his clear misunderstanding of the world of reality. And we shall see how can someone be so stupid or so dumb.
Hi, I'm Jim Parker, and I'm your glider pilot flying this German-made Salto sailplane.
There he goes. He's off the ground already. It's kind of important the sailplane get up and get above the wake of the tow plane here as they do the takeoff. So you see Jim try to keep himself above that, and he's doing it quite well.
The Salto sailplane is a relatively small aircraft. It's composite construction. It's got a 45-foot wingspan. But what's unique about this particular sailplane is it's designed specifically to do aerobatics. So today we'll be flying practically all of the maneuvers you'll see the powered airplanes flying, but we'll do it without an engine. As you can see, she's tiny. It weighs 350 pounds. It's made out of fiberglass, and it's designed to be able to fly at 1 mile of altitude, 35 miles with a no-wind condition.
So, do you really think this proves that passenger airliners do not use fuel? How does it prove this? This is a non-powered aeroplane. A glider relies on air currents and thermals to keep it airborne. Gliders are lightweight and they have long, high lift efficient wings, just as this guy says. And this guy clearly says if this aircraft was at an altitude of 1 mile, it could fly for about 35 miles before it would hit the ground. Majority of gliders are unable to get themselves into the air. They need to be launched by either a ground winch system or being towed by a powered aeroplane into the air and then released at an altitude so they can spend as long as it takes to glide back down to terra firma. There are one or two new types of glider which incorporate a small turbine engine or engine powering a propeller, which allows them to get to altitude by themselves and then regain altitude once they have lost it to maintain the gliding experience.
They're circling with the birds. It's a form of flying that's as close to nature as you can get because sailplanes are just graceful birds that Mother Nature moves through the sky.
Enslaved by No Brain clearly proves he has absolutely no idea about the principles of flight. The glider, just like the birds, does not magically get airborne. In both cases, work energy has to be used in order to get into the air. With birds, they use the energy they extract out of their food to power their muscles, to flap their wings, in order to overcome gravity and get airborne. A glider has energy imparted to it by the launch mechanism of either a ground winch system or the powered aircraft that tows them into the air. And Enslaved by No Brain, if it claim it's so easy to get into the air, why did it take mankind thousands upon thousands of years to discover how to do it?
Thanks for tuning in, and welcome to the channel. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. If not, recommend subscribing, doing some awesome flights with the Paradisco with this 4G mod here. Got everything mounted up. So today we're flying to Lanai from Lahaina, Maui.
See, Enslaved by No Brain thinks he is showing an evidence of no fuel, but in fact he debunks his own idea here, and he is too dumb to realise it. Because in this little remote controlled aeroplane there is the fuel source, that lithium-ion battery. The lithium-ion battery uses a chemical reaction to generate an electrical charge that drives an electrical motor which spins the propeller and also powers the 4G reception so it can be guided during its flight. No lithium-ion battery, no flight. Simple as that. Instead of making up fantasies and rubbish and lies to perpetrate your dreamt up hoax, maybe you should have spent some time actually looking at textbooks where you would clearly find out what is going on. Just like all truthers, you're too lazy to accept to do this, and you just want to make up complete garbage to sell to the dimwits out there that are poorly educated or just don't understand. Why would you want to attach one of these mini air compressors? Oh, you mean an electric ducted fan? That's not a compressor. Oh, look what have we got here. Electrical wires going to an electrical motor which is driving a fan. Which means this glider is electrically powered from a fuel source of a battery. And what's really with the dramatic music? You didn't put dramatic music over the first part of the video. Are you hiding something? I think you're trying to be deceitful. It's funny, it didn't take me too long, but I did find the original version of this video. And there's no dramatic music on that. Shall we have a listen to what it's supposed to sound like, shall we?
Mach mal nochmal. Ja, aber wirklich gut Daumen. Ja. Ja, sehr gut, aber soll nicht mehr wegen
Still with the music, trying to drown out the sound, eh? So, you're going to claim this electrically driven fan powered glider is like the 787 and its gas turbine engines? Well, they both use fuel. The aircraft uses jet A fuel, where the glider uses the chemical reaction of a battery, probably a lithium-ion battery. What else do they share? Shall we have a look? Well, on the little model glider, that little electrical motor drives the fan, and that single fan produces 100% of the thrust required to fly that glider forward. The turbine engine shown, which is a triple spool engine, the fan only contributes about 80% of the total thrust of the engine, where the other 20% is through the core part of the engine, the part of the engine that does the work. As you can see, that big massive fan is driven solely by the 4 stages of LP turbine. If the LP turbine doesn't rotate, the fan doesn't rotate. The intermediate turbine and the high pressure turbines drive respectively the high pressure compressor and the intermediate pressure compressor. By burning jet fuel in the combustion chamber with the high pressure compressor exit air, you can get the energy increase sufficient to turn the turbine sections, thus giving the aircraft engine the thrust output it requires, and to rotate the respective compressor sections to provide the compressed hot air to begin with. Of course 18 tons in the wing is nothing to a 787, as it's designed to take 99 and a bit tons of fuel in total, with just over 16 tons in each wing, not just 18. And as this is a demonstration flight, the aircraft is being put through extreme maneuvers to show off its capabilities to any potential customer. Now, shall we have a look at what a 787 looks like in normal operating use? I don't see many exaggerated maneuvers on this takeoff. Again, you're using footage from a demonstration flight where the manufacturers are putting the aircraft through severe maneuvers to show off its agility. Once again, shall we have a look at what a real flight takeoff looks like in a 380? We have an Emirates heavily laden 380 gracefully pulling into the air. No violent maneuvers as we saw in the previous clip. Your ignorance is amazing. You clearly have no idea what you're talking about. These are not spoilers. These are the flaps. To be precise, they are the trailing edge flaps. They have been deployed to increase the wing area so the aircraft wing can generate more lift at the slower speed it is flying at to maintain altitude, so it doesn't fly into the ground. Spoilers are actual devices on top of the wing that are raised into the airflow and destroy the lift on the wing. They basically spoil the airflow, hence the name spoilers. The 3 primary flight control surfaces of ailerons, rudder and elevator actually control the flight path. Spoilers assist those devices in controlling the flight path. Conspiracy idiots like you always shout, go and do your own research. But you people are the worst. You clearly don't even attempt to do your own research. You just make bullshit up. Like all conspiracy nuts with Dunning-Kruger, you supply with us with absolutely no evidence to back up your ridiculous hoax claims. Sadly, with one picture of a tragic event, I can demonstrate liquid fuel contained in the wings of the aircraft. You can see the liquid burning on the tarmac behind the aircraft. And with this second tragic image, you can see fuel gushing out of the underside of that wing of Concords on fire. So the only thing you have given proof of is your complete stupidity. You have not provided any evidence of what your claim. You've shown no physical citations of your claim. You cannot produce any evidence of your claim. You just have proven that you have got no comprehension of the difference between powered flight and unpowered flight. You are a fecking idiot. Well, that's all we got time for this week, and hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.